Imagine this. You're 17 years old, standing in the freezing Ohio rain, clutching a soggy basketball like it's your last lifeline, fresh from burying your mom. And the whole world whispers in your ear, "You're nothing. You'll always be nothing." That's Marcus Hayes, a kid from the rusting streets of Youngstown, where the American dream feels like a cruel joke played on the working class. But from absolute zero, with no money, no family, no hope, he built $1 million empire, saved hundreds of kids just like him, and became a living symbol of grit. Could one beat-up hoop really turn a homeless boy's life around? Or was it all just a desperate fantasy for the weak? Stick around, because Marcus's story isn't about luck. It's about the fire inside that refuses to die. And trust me, if he can rise from rock bottom, so can you. Youngstown, Ohio, in the mid-1980 seconds, wasn't a place for dreams. It was a graveyard for them. The steel mills that once pumped life into this Rust Belt town had shuttered their doors, leaving behind empty factories like skeletons of a forgotten America. Unemployment hovered at 30%. Families scraped by on welfare checks and odd jobs. And kids like Marcus Hayes learned early that survival meant tough choices. Born in 1985 to a single mom named Rosa, who slung hash at a greasy diner for $5 an hour, Marcus grew up in a cramped apartment on the east side, sharing a room with his little sister Lila, who was just a wide-eyed 8-year-old when things really went south. Rosa worked doubles, her hands cracked from hot plates and endless shifts, but the rent always came due before the paycheck. By the time Marcus was 10, eviction notices were as regular as the mill whistles that no longer blew. One winter night, after the landlord padlocked their door, they piled into Rosa's rattling old station wagon, blankets pulled tight against the biting cold. "We'll be okay, babies," she'd say, her voice steady but her eyes hollow. They parked in empty lots, the engines hum, the only lullaby, while Marcus stared at the frost on the windows, wondering if this was just how life worked for folks like them. No money for extras meals, or peanut butter sandwiches, or canned beans heated over a dashboard lighter. No family safety net. Rosa's folks were long gone, scattered by the same economic storm that hit the mills. School was no escape. Marcus struggled with dyslexia, undiagnosed and misunderstood, turning words on the page into a jumbled mess. Teachers labeled him slow. Classmates teased him as dumb Marcus, and report cards were a parade of D's and F's. He felt invisible, like the world had already decided his fate. Another statistic from a dying town, destined for factory work or worse. Confidence? That was for kids with full bellies and 2 parents. Marcus carried a gnawing self-doubt, a voice in his head that echoed the streets. "You're not good enough. You'll end up like Dad, whoever he was, gone and forgotten." And the anxiety? It clawed at him during those car nights, heart pounding, as cop cars cruised by, wondering if child services would split him and Lila apart. Battered sneakers, threadbare clothes, the constant hunger. It all painted a picture of a boy teetering on the edge. But deep down, in that raw vulnerability, Marcus started to see glimpses of himself in every underdog story, whispered in the diner. The ones who fought back, who refused to break. Little did he know, his own fight was about to ignite. Yet, as the snow piled up outside that frozen car, one question haunted him. What if this is as good as it gets? The challenges hit Marcus like a freight train from the mills, relentless, unforgiving, and piling up faster than he could dodge. First came the streets themselves, a brutal classroom in survival. At 13, his best friend Tommy, a scrappy kid with dreams of pro ball, got caught in a drive-by shooting outside a corner store. Marcus was there, just blocks away, hearing the pops and screams that echoed through the night. He raced to the scene, blood pooling on the cracked sidewalk, Tommy's eyes glazing over as sirens wailed. Why him? Marcus sobbed to no one, the loss carving a hole that gang recruiters tried to fill. "Join us, kid, we'll protect you," they'd say, flashing cash and chains. Rejection stung everywhere. Teachers dismissed his pleas for help with dyslexia, saying, "Try harder, Hayes. Not everyone's cut out for this." He failed tests, got suspended for fighting back against bullies, and watched his grades tank like the town's economy. Then, the gut punch that nearly finished him. At 16, Rosa caught pneumonia. Nothing fancy, just a cough that wouldn't quit in their drafty apartment. No insurance, no savings, the hospital bills stacked up like eviction notices. Marcus dropped out of after-school activities to bus tables at the diner, scrubbing grease till his hands bled, coming home at midnight to find Rosa weaker. Lila terrified. "I can't lose you too, Mom," he'd whisper, holding her feverish hand. But on a gray November day in his junior year, she slipped away in a hospital bed that smelled of bleach and regret. Marcus was 17, orphaned, staring at a social worker who talked about foster care for Lila. "No way," he growled. "She's my blood. I'll take care of her." But how? He was a kid himself, juggling school, a dead-end job, and a grief that weighed like lead. The conflicts peaked on the basketball court, that rusty hoop behind the community center where Marcus escaped the chaos. He'd pour his rage into shots, the ball swishing through the net like a release valve. But even there, failure mocked him. At 6 feet tall, undersized for a guard, coaches overlooked him. "You're too small, too slow from that town." One scout sneered after a tryout, leaving Marcus slumped on the curb, rain mixing with tears. "What's the point?" he muttered, the ball rolling into a puddle. Despair clawed deep. He skipped practices, snapped at Lila, considered quitting everything. The pressure built bills unpaid, Lila's wide eyes begging for stability, the town whispering he'd end up in jail like so many others. God, why me? He'd pray in empty churches, fists clenched. It felt like the universe was testing him, daring him to fold. And in those darkest moments, as he stood alone on that cracked court, the question burned. Would he shatter, or find a way to keep pushing? Little did he know, a spark was about to turn into a blaze. That's when the real grind began, the kind of effort that separates dreamers from doers, the stuff of American legends whispered in barbershops and backyards. Enter Coach Daniels, a grizzled ex-college player who'd returned to Youngstown to coach kids no one else wanted. Spotting Marcus one freezing dawn, slamming shots with fury, Daniels pulled him aside. "Kid, you've got heart, but heart without hustle is just noise. Outwork everyone, or go home." Those words hit like a fast break. Marcus latched on, turning the court into his battlefield. Up at 4 a.m., he'd lace up worn Nikes and run 5 miles through snowdrifts, lungs burning, legs screaming, 200 hours a year, no days off. Back at the hoop, he'd drill 500 jumpers daily, the rim clanging like a dinner bell, using cinder blocks from abandoned lots as weights to build strength in his skinny arms. Blisters popped, fingers froze, but he pushed through, muttering, "One more, keep pushing." School was war too. Dyslexia turned books into enemies, but Marcus fought back with a tutor from the community center, 2 hours nightly, decoding words letter by letter. He'd failed 200 times on a single paragraph, frustration boiling into tears, but then he'd crack it, the light bulb flickering on. "See? You're not slow, you're a fighter," the tutor said. Failures piled up. A local tournament where his team got crushed 8-0-4-0, Marcus airballing key shots, the crowd jeering. He slumped in the locker room, doubting everything. "Coach, I can't do this," he admitted, head in hands. Daniels grabbed his shoulders. "Can't or won't? Get up, Hayes." Lila's watching. That night, chugging water from a rusty fountain, Marcus vowed no more pity parties. He added film study, rewatching NBA tapes on a borrowed VCR, mimicking Jordan's fadeaways till his back ached. The rhythm became relentless. Work the diner till 10 p.m., crash for 4 hours, then gym at dawn. Kiet's strength hit rock bottom once mid-drill, vision blurring, he collapsed in the snow, tasting blood. "This is stupid," he gasped, But Lila's voice echoed, "You're my hero, Marcus. Don't stop." He dragged himself up, adding push-ups 100 a set, 3 times daily. By senior year, the changes showed. Muscles rippled under his jersey, shots swished smoother, grades climbed from F's to B's. He led the team to regionals, dropping 25 points a game, the crowd finally chanting his name. But setbacks lingered, a sprained ankle sidelining him for weeks, whispers of lucky streak from doubters. Each dip fueled the fire. He'd ice the injury, visualize wins, and return fiercer. Pain is temporary. Quitting is forever, Daniels drilled into him. Through 18 months of this grind, Marcus transformed not just body, but soul. The boy who once hid from mirrors now stared back with steel. Yet, as the state finals loomed, one decision hung like a buzzer beater. Risk it all for a shot at something bigger, or play it safe in the shadows. That pivotal moment came like thunder on a clear day, the kind of crossroads that defines legends. It was the night before signing his partial scholarship to a Division II school in Kentucky. A modest offer. Half tuition, no glory, just a chance to escape Youngstown's grip. Marcus paced Coach Daniels' cramped living room, where he and Lila had crashed since Rosa's death. Bills stared back from the table, $2,000 in debt. Lila's school fees looming. What if I blow it, Coach? Leave her here alone? Daniels, nursing a coffee, leaned in. Listen, son. I was you once, small-town kid. Mills closing, dreams dying. But I dreamed big anyway. The American dream ain't handed out. You grab it by the throat. All in, or all out. Those words cracked something open in Marcus. No more half measures. He signed the papers at dawn, hugging Lila tight. This is for us, sis. I'll make it work. The shift was seismic. At Kentucky State, Marcus arrived wide-eyed, a fish out of water, among polished recruits from big cities. But that mindset flip? It was his superpower. Classes? He attacked them like defenses, taping lectures, studying till 2 a.m., turning dyslexia from curse to conquest. On the court, the first scrimmage was brutal, benched after turnovers, coach yelling, "Wake up, Hayes." But Marcus adapted, requesting extra film sessions, breaking down opponents' plays like a general. The turning point game, a rivalry matchup, down by 10 inches the fourth. Teammates deferred. Marcus stepped up, sinking 3 straight threes, then a steal and slam that ignited the crowd. 30 points total, his highest ever. Scouts buzzed. A European League agent slipped him a card. "You've got that fire, kid. Come play in Spain, prove you're more than a small-town story." That epiphany sealed it. Talent was secondary. Persistence was king. Marcus wasn't just playing ball anymore. He was building a legacy, one calculated risk at a time. The decision rippled. He called Lila nightly, saved every penny from campus jobs, and visualized not just wins, but a future where they never slept in cars again. From victim to visionary, the boy who'd once begged for scraps now demanded his destiny. And as the plane tickets to Europe loomed, Marcus knew the real game was just beginning. What came next would redefine everything. From that leap of faith, Marcus's transformation unfolded like a highlight reel on steroids, raw, relentless, and utterly American. College blurred into triumph. By sophomore year, he was starting shooting guard, averaging 20 points, his quick release and court vision turning heads. The dyslexia? Conquered, he graduated with a business degree, honors no less, the first in his family to walk that stage. Caps flew. Lila cheered from the stands, tears streaming. But the NBA dream? It ghosted him. No calls, no camps. Undeterred, Marcus grinded semi-pro leagues back home, flipping burgers by day, hooping by night, body aching but spirit unbreakable. Then, the overseas break. At 25, that Spanish scout's offer landed a 2-year contract in Madrid, 100 Kelvins euros a season. "This is it," he told Lila, packing a duffel with $200 and dreams. Europe was culture shock, language barriers, jet lag, fierce pros towering over him. Homesickness hit hard. He'd call Lila at odd hours, fighting sobs. But Marcus outworked them all. Pre-dawn gym sessions, film breakdowns in broken Spanish, diet tweaks to slim down. Fans dubbed him El Guerrero Americano, the American warrior for his hustle. He averaged 18 points, led his team to playoffs, and banked 50 Kelvin's savings. By year 2, Lila joined him, enrolling in school, their first real home, a sunny apartment overlooking the court. "We made it, bro," she beamed, hugging him after her first A+. Returning stateside at 28, Marcus didn't coast, he ignited. With savings and savvy from his business degree, he bought the old community lot in Youngstown, transforming that rusty hoop into the Marcus Hayes Youth Center. Free programs for 500 at-risk kids yearly, basketball clinics, dyslexia tutoring, hot meals. "No kid sleeps in a car on my watch," he vowed at the ribbon cutting, Daniels beaming beside him. But the big pivot? Entrepreneurship. Inspired by his mantra, he launched Keep Pushing apparel tees with slogans like "Dream Big, Grind Harder," designed in his kitchen, sold online from 100 units. Hustle mode, cold calls to stores, pop-up booths at games, social media blasts. By 30, it exploded. Walmart stocked them, endorsements rolled in, revenue hit $5 million. Billboards across the Midwest featured Marcus, from nothing to everything. Today at 40, he's a force. TED Talks drawing 1 million views, books on resilience flying off shelves. Lila running the center's nonprofit arm. The center saved lives, kids off streets, into colleges. Marcus's net worth? 8 figures. But the real win? Looking at Lila, married with kids of her own, and knowing they broke the cycle, pride swells when he steps on that renovated court, hearing laughter where silence once reigned. Gratitude for Daniels, for Lila, for the pain that forged him. "I ain't special," he says in interviews, voice gravelly, "just stubborn. The American dream? It's sweat, not silver spoons." From rock bottom to rooftop, Marcus's life screams possibility, proof that one push can change worlds. But what does it all mean for you? Let's distill the gold from Marcus's grind. 3 takeaways you can slap into your life today. No excuses. First, grit trumps talent every time. Marcus wasn't the tallest or fastest, but he logged 500 shots a day, outworking doubters. Start small, commit 10 minutes daily to your hoop, whatever it island. That consistency. It's the secret sauce of winners like him. Second, build your village. No solo heroes here. Coach Daniels mentored, Lila motivated, and Marcus gave back. Reach out, find a guide, lean on loved ones, and pay it forward. Isolation kills dreams, connection fuels them. Third, small steps lead to big leaps. From a cracked court to a global brand, Marcus stacked wins brick by brick. Don't wait for the perfect shot, take the messy one. Dream big, but act now. These aren't fluffy quotes, they're battle-tested. Which one hits home? Grab it, own it, and watch your story rewrite itself. Marcus Hayes' journey, from frozen Ohio nights to stages under spotlights, proves the fire in your gut is enough to light up the world. Don't quit when it hurts. That's when breakthroughs hide. Every epic starts with one gritty step, so lace up and keep pushing. If this fired you up, drop day 1 in the comments. Tell us your starting line, your personal hoop. Share this with a friend scraping bottom. It might be their spark. Hit subscribe for more raw American dream stories that'll have you charging toward yours. Remember Marcus's words, "From nothing, I got everything." Your turn, dream big, fight hard, and claim it all. You've got this, America. Now go make it happen.